Hey everyone, it's Rella Zella. I just wanted to do a quick update on my plants and my garden. The last time I did the first video was about a month ago, so things have drastically changed, so I want to show you that. This is my flower bed right here in front of my house. All different mixture, different color of flowers, and I got a few surprises here. These sunflowers snuck their way in. I think it's because last year when I was drying the big sunflower heads with the sunflower seeds in them, some birds came and helped themselves, which is fine, which is what I wanted, but they kind of scattered some seeds in the dirt, so I think that's why I had some pop-up surprises with these sunflowers, but I think they look pretty. And then I added some solar lights and a little fairy and my red rose by the front door. And then I have this flower bed over here is doing awesome. I think it's because it gets some really good sun on this side of the house. So all different variety of flowers that will be blooming soon. And I'll show you the update of when they bloom. Alright, and last time I showed you the big giant oak tree. It's awesome. Huge oak tree with my punching bag and my 2-year-old daughter's little swing that she loves. And right by her swing we have a sandbox that we built with a fairy mansion, and it's right by the garden, so she plays and digs in the sandbox while I work in the garden under the shade of the oak tree. Alright, so this is the entrance to my garden. We added a new garden gate, and I have such a high fence because of the deer. They will get in here and munch down all the plants I have. I also have morning glories that aren't blooming right now. It's in the evening. Morning glories bloom as their name, morning, and beginning of the day. But they're vining all the way up my fence, and they're like multicolored morning glories, so I really like them. It looks pretty. And then this is my lavender. It hasn't grown much, but I'm excited to harvest the lavender and make some cool lavender scented stuff out of it. That's my baby. Ella, do you help Mommy in the garden? Do you help Mama? There's no berries to pick right now, sweetheart. Not yet. Okay. My tomato patch here, and all of them have awesome tons of green tomatoes. That's my tomato section. This is my herb garden right here. So you can see it's drastically sprouted up, and I'm going to be using a food dehydrator to dry these herbs and save them for flavoring my cooking. I've got 4 different types of mint. I have lemon balm, marjoram, dill, chives, tarragon, 2 different kinds of oregano, and cilantro. So I use this for cooking a lot and to flavor my food. A little salad bowl. And then I added some really pretty hanging baskets. So I've got some different flowers here right by our chill spot. This is just a break time spot in the shade. Alright, and look at this. The salad bowls that I made out of the fallen logs from the storm from last year. So I planted lettuce, a mixture of lettuce, and those 2 other ones down there are spinach. I have harvested so much salad out of here, and it keeps coming back up and coming back up. You have to be careful not to cut it down too far on the plant, and it just keeps coming back more and more, and you can pick salad all summer long. And these awesome things, look at these. These are my Mammoth Sunflowers, and some of them are starting to bloom. And I think maybe the tallest one is about 8 feet high or so. So I'm going to zoom in and see how beautiful they are. There we go. And that's just way taller than me. I can't even reach it. Okay. There we go. So these will get a lot bigger. They'll all start blooming here. And I split the pile of seeds into 3 piles. So I'll save 1/3 of the pile of seeds for next year, so I can have 3 times more sunflowers to plant. And then I'll save 1/3 of it for my family and maybe roast some for snacks and put on salads and things like that. And then I will save another 1/3 of it for our critter friends where we live. We have a pet chipmunk named Alvin that we hand feed, and he loves sunflower seeds and almonds. It is the cutest thing, and he's very, very tame, and we can hold him, and he loves the sunflowers. So I'm at the very edge of my garden here. I've got carrots going on, and all of that right there is potatoes. Okay, and this section right here is radishes, beets, broccoli, cauliflower, and 3 different Brussels sprouts, and 3 different kinds of cabbage. So I've got regular cabbages going on, see, red cabbage, and Chinese cabbage over there. I've actually got some little cauliflowers and stuff forming, like that one. So this is going to be awesome. These are kind of like my root vegetable section. And then I had to redo my onions right here, and they are coming up. At first I planted onions by seed, which I've never done, and that didn't work so good, and they were taking forever, so I just planted onion sets in this section, replanted it. This section right here is my peppers. So I've got regular green pepper, bell peppers, jalapenos, hot peppers, Tabasco peppers right here. And these are cool right here. I've got peas and green beans growing on teepees. And what we did was take 3 fence posts and wire them at the top in a teepee shape. And I planted the beans at the bottom of the fence posts, and they are vining up just like I wanted them to. And it's kind of like a little hideout cubby hole for my 2-year-old that she likes to get in there and play and hide. These are eggplants right here, 3 different kinds of eggplants, and I'll show you. There's some eggplants on here forming. What's interesting to me about eggplants is they're related to the belladonna plant. That the belladonna is a poisonous, toxic plant if ingested too much. They used to use belladonna for sedative, natural plant medicine and things like that, but too much of it can be extremely toxic. But the eggplant is actually related to the belladonna, which I think is pretty interesting. Their flowers look very much the same. Right, so there's all my tomatoes here, and last year I grew enough tomatoes to donate about 50 pounds to the local food shelf in my town, and I also canned a whole bunch of tomatoes for my family and made salsa and things like that. I've got 2 different types of corn here. So this is Indian corn. It's probably about to my armpits or so. That's how high it is. And then over there, the other corn that I have is regular sweet corn. And way far over there are tons and tons of white pumpkins. I live at a greenhouse business, and in the fall we sell Indian corn bundles and pumpkins. So all different types of pumpkins and gourds that we grow. These ones are all white pumpkins, so I'll show you an update when they start happening. But this is like a whole acre and a half of garden space. There's just a lot of space, and yeah, so it keeps getting better and better each year. This year I made wood chip paths through everything, around everything, to control the weeds, and it really looks nice. Those are my other sunflowers blooming there, as you can see. And this big section right here is my squash family. So I've got cucumbers. I do have a baby pickle to show you. There it is. And I have pulled off already tons of zucchini and squash already out of here. There's more forming. There's a yellow squash. I've got every kind of squash imaginable, pretty much. And a birdhouse gourd in here, I think I mixed in. And I've got all different types of pumpkins mixed in. I've got miniature baby pumpkins, medium-sized regular jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, and I've got two that I'm very excited about. They are giant pumpkins, like the 600-pound kind, so I'm really taking good care of those big pumpkins, and I'll keep you updated on those. More morning glories vining up. Those are blue morning glories in the corner of the fence. I have more green beans climbing up the entire fence over there, all the way to the corner. And then I've got raspberries, a bunch of raspberries here, and they will be having raspberries for my 2-year-old to pick here really soon. Blueberries. We've been picking and eating tons of blueberries out of here. And I have some rhubarb. So the rhubarb, when I was younger, was my job to go and pick and cut rhubarb so grandma and great grandma could make rhubarb crisp, and I have the greatest recipe you will ever try. And so I planted a lot of rhubarb because I know that recipe like the back of my mind. So yeah, this is my garden. We've worked super hard on it. We live at a greenhouse business, but you don't have to live at a place like this to grow your own food. You can grow your food off a balcony if you live in an apartment, anything. Plants need dirt, water, and light. That's it, and caring and love or whatever, and pulling weeds, of course. But, if you need help or have any questions about gardening, let me know. There's a lot of benefits to this. You know exactly where your food is coming from. I'll even show you how I harvest things, freeze them, save them, food dehydrate them, and save a lot of money. And I know exactly where my food comes from with no chemicals added whatsoever. I do a lot of canning with my products. I freeze it, all kinds of ways to preserve all this. And I always make sure to give back too. So a lot of the produce that I collect out of my garden, I donate to my local food shelf. So I hope you enjoyed the tour of my gardens, and I will keep you guys updated. And again, if you have any questions, plant related, garden questions, whatever, let me know, and I will see you next time. Thank you.